Alright, let's do it. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's great to be here. We're at the Findon Skid Kids racetrack, and we're here with the very famous Mick Harley.
They bust us in and they bust us out. We drive all day and we sleep all night.
Talk us back to when you were first coming out from England as a young lad. What memories do you have?
Well, I was 6 and a half, and we came out on a boat which was called the Dorsetshire. The original Dorsetshire sank the Bismarck, and this was the next Dorsetshire, which was a hospital ship during World War II, and then converted to a migrant carrier afterwards. So, as you can imagine, there certainly was no picnic.
And she heard us on the bus. It takes one to buck the system, and maybe
What was your first impressions of your new home when you arrived in Australia or South Australia?
Well, when the ship arrived at Outer Harbour, and it was a real hot day. It was the end of January in 1949 when we arrived, and a very, very hot day. And we had to catch the train from Outer Harbour to Adelaide, to the city. And they had the old red hens, the original red hens. And of course I was looking out the windows looking for Aboriginals and kangaroos, which I didn't see any.
maybe I can be that one bad apple, that one black sheep. It takes one to take a left.
So how long did it take you to get a passion for cycling?
Well, it would have taken a few years actually, because when I went to school, I went to Woodville Primary School after we left Springbank, and I had an old girl's bike to ride, and I wasn't very tall. I was the eyes of a grasshopper, you know. But I suppose when I was about 11 is when I noticed the sport of cycle speed.
They wanted me to write a letter to keep the world happy. I obliged, I
I
tried.
can imagine football and cricket were still were popular with kids at that time. What was it that drew you to cycling instead of hanging up and playing cricket or kicking the football?
Yeah, well, see, in those days you also have to remember that there was nothing on Sundays. Mm-hmm. Everybody went to church. Most people went to church. So there was nothing on and nothing to do on a Sunday. And as I said, I've seen this cycle racing with Bicycle Speedway and Cycle Speedway at Woodville North, and that kind of clicked with me.
Find a new scene. All I know is this here spot is for my couch and TV.
As a 15-year-old, you wrote to council. Can you? I don't know too many 15-year-olds now that would have the confidence to write to council and ask.
And the initiative.
What was going through your mind as a 15-year-old?
As I said, I raced at the Croydon Way, and I lived in the street here. This is called Reserve Parade, where the track is, the Findon track, and this used to be a gravel dump. There was dirt mounds and gravel mounds all over this place, and that's what they used to use to make the roads. In those days, the roads were all gravel. And I thought, some spare area here, and I thought, I'll start a club, start up a track.
Piano, desk and settee. I'll point here if you grab there. Don't forget to bend.
So what about what the attitude of kids were in the 60s and the 70s and those early years? We see the videos of what we, looking back, think, wow, those kids were confident, risk takers. Is there much difference between then and now?
The kids of look, first up, the kids of today, when you're talking to them, etc., they think the same as the kids of yesterday. And if they had the chance, they'd be doing the same thing. What's stopping them, of course, is their parents.
What does it take to be a good cycle speedway racer? What type of person?
Okay, to be a really good cycle speedway rider, you need to get out the gate, starting gate first. Mm-hmm. Because once you get out, whoever gets out in front is dictating the terms for everybody behind them. So you need good fitness, good leg muscle to get out that gate, and good reflexes. So when the gate goes up, away you go. And that's all you concentrate on.
They were lean and as hard as nails.
Rate your crew here a mix of young girls and young boys?
Yeah.
And from all walks of life?
All walks of life. We've got, we start off with tiny tots, which is say kids can be 3 years of age on trikes, etc., or the balance bikes, where they push themselves along. And then we go up to under 7s, under 9s, under 11, under 13, under 18, and then we have the open section. And now we've got veterans.
A powered site with amenities. Hoist the flag, you can happily die.
We do some great things here that help members of the community come and be involved.
We donated over $30,000 to different charities, like St John, Red Cross, a couple of orphanages that we used to operate in. Something we're very proud of. But you get back to helping the kids of today. Yes, we have club bikes. We have a whole heap of club bikes, different sizes for different size kids. We don't charge them membership fee for the first 12 months. And even after that, it's on $15. And then on a normal race day, we just charge $5 a rider. So you can't get any better than that.
Sitting here today and still looking out over a fantastic club with a community and kids involved. And what does it feel like?
Look, I am very proud of that. But once again, I say that all I am is the captain to steer the ship. It's all the people that have been involved in this club that's made it what it is today. And not just this club, because there's a club at Osborne called the Findon Skid Kids. There's one up at Salisbury North, Salisbury Cycle Speedway, and one at Murray Bridge. So of course, if this club hadn't been going, those clubs wouldn't be going either.
My brother and I, we're really inspired by you and your story, and I can't imagine how many people have passed through these gates, and this would have changed their lives, I'm sure, or given
In a few thousand.
He's losing his hair. You've had your time in the sun, so let's make room for the forgotten ones and let's bail out the battler.
1, 2, 3, 4. Boy boards the Dorsetshire from England. It's a rough ride across the ocean waves, and out of Harbour Shed was where he was led. Shot out the gates on a rail car. Dreams of kangaroos and open spaces, to be lost in dust and burnt red faces. What would you do if it happened to you? Get on your bike and ride. The boy found a home amongst the working class. You Australian folk looking for a second start. With a little hard labour and some paper, you can bring about some change. Wrote to council with a cracking idea. The kids round here need a place to race. We can make a track and clear the three-corner jacks. Cycle speedway on reserve parade. No brakes, no fear, no holds barred. 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 February 26, in 1958, word came back from Woodville Council.
Mick Harley got his way and his mates a place to play. The Findon Skid Kids were born. It's a home away from home, on and off the track. The rain cleared the way.